We are continuing with our study of Jonah, the church's first missionary, short-term missionary. He's the 8th century prodigal prophet, told to go to the Assyrians and tell them about God's love and mercy, and he goes in the other direction. Last week, we were making some high-level observations about the book, and then moving on into chapter 1. So this, just so you know, by way of context, today there's all kinds of things that we're paying attention to. I mean, we've got not just our job, but we got email, and then there's social media, and there's the newspaper, and there's news, and there's podcasts, and there's Netflix, and there's just all kinds of books and magazines and all kinds of stuff that is getting our attention. You go back a couple hundred years, that was not the case. And like the sermon on Sunday was sort of the intellectual high water mark. It was a cultural gathering place. It was the point where lots of people were going to think about and talk about the sermon and pay lots more attention. And there weren't all kinds of other things to read. People were much more biblically literate. I have said, and it made some people mad, that I can't preach the sermons that were being preached 300 years ago. And that's because although they had far less education, they were much more theologically literate. And the messages, when you go back and you read the sermons from 200 years ago, 300 years ago, people today don't understand them because they don't understand all the allusions. They don't know the Bible, and they don't know the stories, and they don't know how all these things fit together. And so the book of Jonah, Jonah is the prodigal prophet. That is the term Tim Keller, I think, uses for the title of his book on Jonah. And he's both the younger brother, the prodigal, and he's the older brother at the same time. And so all these things would make sense to people, 200 years ago. They don't make sense to us because it's just way over our head. So anyway, chapter 1 is all about the big fish. And then chapter 2, what we get to is Jonah's repentance. So the entire chapter, and I'm going to read it to you in just a second. The entire chapter 2 is Jonah repenting. Now, it's not a great prayer of repentance. It's not nearly as sort of honest and self-aware as, say, David's prayer of repentance in Psalm 51. But it is a prayer of repentance, and the whole book is only 48 verses. So I'm just going to read you the I guess dozen verses from chapter 2. So Jonah has been he's gone the wrong direction. God sends a storm. He eventually, Jonah says to the people, throw me overboard. He's thrown overboard. He sinks. He's swallowed by this great fish. And now, chapter 2. From inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord, his God. He said, in my distress, I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead, I called for help, and you listened to my cry. You hurled me into the depths, into the very heart of the seas, and the currents swirled about me. All your waves and breakers swept over me. I said, I have been banished from your sight, yet I will look again toward your holy temple. The engulfing waters threatened me. The deep surrounded me. Seaweed was wrapped around my head. To the roots of the mountains I sank down. From the earth beneath barred me. The earth beneath barred me in forever. But you, Lord my God, brought my life up from the pit. When my life was ebbing away, I remembered you, Lord, and my prayer rose to you, to your holy temple. Those who cling to worthless idols turn away from the Lord's love for them. But I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed, I will make good. I will say, salvation comes from the Lord. And the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. So, look, that prayer I just read you the entire second chapter of Jonah. I assume you understand that this is not the way it's supposed to work. If you're a prophet, being a prophet means you speak for God. God is communicating to his people through the prophet. You, as a prophet, are not supposed to be the message. You're supposed to just deliver the message. And to the extent that you are the message, you're supposed to be a good example, not a bad example. There are times when God turns the life of the prophet, like Hosea, into the message himself. But anyway, Jonah's a bad example. And so on Yom Kippur, the Jews gather, and the entire book of Jonah, again, very short, 48 verses, the entire book of Jonah is read. And then the response from the congregation at the end of the book of Jonah is to say, we are Jonah. Like, we are sinners. We are broken. We are making bad choices. We are rebelling against God. So I'm just going to ask you today, start of the week, how are you like Jonah? Have a good day.